Hello everyone, welcome back. It is me, E20 Zone TV, the place to be, and you're joined by me, Fat Boy Thief. Um, this is the Fantastic Four show, and I am going to go through all four of our attacking options tonight, and basically give an assessment of how well they're doing, really, in the grand scheme of things. I just think they've all been fantastic in their own different ways. So yeah, but before I get started, I just want to thank everyone who's subscribed. I'd really do appreciate it, and everyone who likes the video goes a long way. It helps me out greatly, and yeah, I can not thank you enough for that. So, furthermore, let's get right into it as we are all ready to go. And I'm going to start off with this man, Mr. Jared Bowen. He's getting better, this kid. He really, really is. He's getting a lot better. Do you know what I mean? Last season, he had a bit of a blip. He started off well, then he went missing for about 12 games, and he come back towards the end strong. And I've noticed that this year he's not faster, not stronger, lot sharper and all. Like turn of foot, turn of pace. And he's been phenomenal, I must admit. And he is and he will score goals. Um, like it's not a case of if, it's a case of when. It really is. And basically, I look at this kid and I just see goals, and it will come in time. We just need to be patient with him. Do you know what I mean? Like the goal he scored or the goal he made on Saturday versus Leeds was a great goal. Like his turn, his sharpness, he's like Iron, he is like Iron Robin, mate, and he is like. And if we can get him scoring, then we've got a phenomenal player there on the right hand side. Um, he just does the job very, very well, and it really, it really is good that we've got him in our ranks. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, Jared obviously come from Hull. He was signed in January 2019, I think. Was it 2019? I can't remember when it was. Someone could tell me in the chat, then I'd be appreciated. But yeah, yeah, he was signed in 2019. I'm sure it was, or 2020. It was one of the two. But yeah, he was signed from Hull, and basically he yeah, it was 2020, January 2020. And basically, when I look at it, he's just hit the ground running. Sort of, he's come in, he's done really well for us, and I really do see a top player there. I really do. Um, Obviously, time will tell with him. Obviously, people will criticise him until he scores. They've done it with Benny last year, and they've done it with other players. So they're going to do it with him. But I've got all faith in this kid. I really have. This kid's a talent. I cannot praise this geezer up enough. Do you know what I mean? And he does sort of make it work on that right hand side. Him and Kafal on the right hand side. They work. They work well together, and it's sort of it goes hand in hand. And when he come to us, he scored against Southampton on his home debut. He's a top kid, and he's a top talent. And like the pace and the turn of foot on this kid now. And what I like about him, he can play multiple positions now. He can play up front. He can go on the right. Do you know what I mean? He can do them jobs, and he does it well. Like he proved against Manchester United. He done the job well, and he should have scored a goal, really. But in the grand scheme of things, for me, he's part of the Fantastic Four, and the Fantastic Four is good, mate. I must admit, with him in it, we need to keep this kid though, and it is important that we keep this Jared at the club. Like I can't stress enough, because I do think big clubs will start looking at him, like because he's starting to sort of come into his own now. And this year is going to be a big year for him. I can see him getting England called up towards the end of the year, like end of the season, if he starts performing the way he does. But do you know what? I'm happy to have him in the squad, and yeah, he fits our mould greatly. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, moving on though to this man, Mr. Pablo Fornals. Now, this is a mixed bag with me, but he has impressed me, I must admit. I wasn't a fan of him at the start. I really wasn't. And I just thought to myself, there's no end product there. There really isn't. Like, he's a good player, gets about the pitch, he passes the ball well, he's hard working, but there's no end product. But I must admit, this season I've sort of kept an eye on him just to sort of, because I know how good Benny is, and I'll get onto Benny in a little while. But obviously, with Fornals, I've sort of kept an eye on him, and he does pass the ball well, and he does work hard. There is end product there with him now, and he's scoring goals, which is good. But yeah, he's a talent. He is a talent. I'm not his biggest fan. He's not one of my most favourite players in this team. And if I was to pick the team, um, would I have him in it? I really don't know. But in the grand scheme of things, I can't knock his ability and the way he's been playing for West Ham. And he's doing sort of everything right. Do you know what I mean? He gets the ball down, he passes it well, and as I say, he's scoring goals now. So yeah, obviously he come from Villarreal in the Pellegrini era, and he was signed, and he's had a bit of a mixed bag at the start. People thought, is it, isn't it? And obviously, some people love him, some people think he's okay, and some people think he's just not cut out for it. I'm in the sort of camp of I think he's a good player, but that's it with me. I just don't see anything else there. But I must admit, as I say, this season he's been very, very good, and I can't not fault the man, if I'm honest. Like, I think the man's been top class in everything he does. Do you know what I mean? And he works well in the system. Obviously, on the left hand side with Cresswell, he helps Cresswell a hell of a lot. And obviously, tracking back, and where he's sort of hard working, he does get about the pitch. So, yeah, 4-0 for me. He's a player that sort of works well in the system. He's another part of the Fantastic Four. They are definitely a Fantastic Four with him in it. I must admit, they do look better. Like, do you know what I mean? And when he's on the ball, if he can spray them passes out to Benny and Bowen, then we've got like goals from every one of the front four. So yeah, for me, he's proved me wrong for now. He has. As I say, I wasn't his biggest fan, but I just want him to keep proving me wrong, basically. But yeah, Fornals is doing well. And long may that continue. I really do mean that. Do you know what I mean? I want him to do well in a claret and blue shirt. Let's go to the comments and see what everyone thinks. West Ham unofficial is on fire tonight. Irons 97. Yes, James, big up. How you doing? And Jay Woods, evening. It's a shame Flashes hasn't hit the ground running. I'll get on to Flashes towards the end, mate. I will. Right, I'm just going to do these Fantastic Four first, and then we'll talk about who can go in there and take one of their places. But yeah, to sort of round it up with Fornals, I like what he's doing, and long may it continue. And he's proved me wrong. He really has. But getting on to this man. Now, this is a man that I backed from minute one. And a lot of people, and I see a lot of different platforms, different people saying, this man's not cut out for it. This man is an absolute class act. Really is. He can be whatever he wants to be, this kid. Right? I mean, we signed him from Brentford last season, the 2020 summer. And I can't lie when I say this, but I just knew straight away. Like, when I see him playing the Championship, I went, this kid's got it. Like, he can do damage. You know what I mean? And the criticism that he was getting last season, I thought was very unjustified. Like, as in, like, when you look at this man and the way he gets about the pitch, his passing ability, his ability to beat people, and people were saying, well, the only thing he ain't doing, James, he ain't scoring no goals, right? But he was making chance after chance after chance for other people. And yeah, like, I look at Benny, and I knew full well that he was going to hit the ground running. You know what I mean? And a lot of platforms now are saying, like, he must be in the team. Now, that gives me great pleasure, because I obviously, when I was backing him up last season, I was getting a lot of stick because people were saying he ain't cut out for it. It sort of proved me right, and it's to say, you know what, I wasn't talking crap, I was talking truth. And yeah, like, I can't praise the boy up enough. As I say, we got him from Brentford. He come in, and I thought last season he done okay. No, I'm going to say not okay, good. if I was to rate him, I'd say he done good last season. He come in and his stats when he was playing in our team was basically we don't lose many games when he plays. And obviously, when you're also everyone's got their eyes on him, they're expecting him to sort of hit the ground running, turn into prime Payet, and he's not Payet, he's Saïd Benrahma. And for me, he will come good. Like he will start scoring more goals and he will assist more goals. And I think he will assist easily over 10, 12 goals this season. Easily. You know what I mean? What it is this season, he's starting to find the back of the net also, which is good. I looked at him at the start to get 10 goals, and I do believe he will get 10 goals this season. And there is no doubt in my mind, other than an injury, that he doesn't get them. Do you know what I mean? I just think when he's on the ball, he's looking to shoot on sight. And to me, that doesn't bother me when he has a shot from outside the box. It really, really doesn't. Like because I know for well, if it's on target, if the keeper makes a great save, then fair enough. If the keeper don't make a great save, it's going in. So yeah, I've got a lot of love for Saïd. I've got a lot of time for him, and I just see a kid there who I know will blossom into something amazing, and he will do. He really will, and he's part of that fantastic four. And the balance of that four is phenomenal, really. When you look at Bowen's sort of work rate, the speed and sharpness, Benny's trickery, Fornell's passing ability, then you're looking at a front four that can do a lot of damage. So, yeah. Moving on to finally this man. Then I will come to the comments. Mikel Antonio. This boy has played everywhere on the pitch other than goalkeeper, and I tell you what, he surprised even me. He is now a striker. We have to say that he is now a striker. He's got striker's instincts now. He's putting the ball in the back of the net regularly, and he's like when he's not there, I ain't gonna say we don't look the same team, but we don't play the same way. That front four works well. You got sort of the ruggedness and strength of Antonio, the trickery of Benrahma, the passing and work rate of Fornells, and the speed and the sharpness of Bowen. Like that is, and they all balance themselves out equally and well. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we've signed Mikel Antonio 1st September 2015 from Forest for £7 million. It's the best £7 million I think West Ham have ever spent because he's played right back, right wing, left wing, attacker. Like he's played everywhere. Like wing back, you name it, he's done it. And do you know what? He's one of the ones that I'm proudest of most because he's been with us through thick and thin. He's been with us through obviously the changeover at the London Stadium to London Stadium from the Boleyn, and there was many years ago, 2.5 years ago, people wanted him out. Said, "No, he's not." And Palace come knocking for a £25 million bid, and for some reason we didn't sell him. And for some reason he was determined to prove us wrong, and he's always proved us wrong as West Ham fans. Antonio, yes, he's just every time there's whenever we doubt him, he comes back stronger, better, and just phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? And when I look at Antonio now to the player that was there, say 2.5 years ago, with a few others, it's unreal how he's turned out. He's always been good though. He's always been a hard working. He always one thing with Mikel, he will play for the badge and he won't stop running and he won't stop trying. Do you know what I mean? Obviously we don't like it when he shoots from 45 yards out and he's hitting some steward in Rosette, but for what he does doing that, he does the other side of it, and it's he's always in the box. And some of the goals he has scored, I don't think he's got the credit he deserved, in my opinion, in Mikel. So for me, I look at it and I think, you know what I mean, he could easily get 20 goals this season, and that's mad for me to say that because I was one of the people that said I don't think he even gets 10, right? And it's because he misses so many chances. That's the reason why I was doubting him. But I must admit, the goal against Leeds, the 2 goals against Leicester, do you know what I mean? The finish against Newcastle, the goal against Palace, he's phenomenal in front of goal. right? And he don't seem to miss like many of them anymore. Like that goal against Leeds at the weekend, no disrespect, but if that would have been him a few years ago, that would have been wide or straight at the goalkeeper. That was placed. That was just he's just looking like a proper baller now, right? And he's looking like a proper striker. And like I think he's one of the best strikers outside like the big six, say. Do you know what I mean? I just look at him and I think, you know what, Antonio, put him up against any defence and he will cause ag. He'll cause like carnage. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, for me, Mikel, love him. He's one of the players that I think every West Ham fan can relate to because he's doing it. He started at the grassroots level. He's worked his way up and he's got to where he is now. He's 31 years old. And do you know what I mean? Long may that continue. If we can get another few more years out of him doing like that and then bring someone in to help him, i.e. Ivan Toney, for me, then it's amazing. It's amazing. So that is my Fantastic Four opinion. Let's hear what you have all got to say. Right, let's start off here. Irons 97. Hope we've proved wrong. Vlasic was a similar player. Yeah, I'll get onto Vlasic in a minute, mate. 100% agree on Benrahma. Always creates chances whenever he plays. I agree, Paul. Paul, if you're new, sir, please do subscribe. It goes a long way, mate. It helps me out greatly. Benny's the baller. Still took him till towards the end of our season, but we saw flashes yet. See that with flashes yet with other battles. Antonio. It's a shame. I would love to have seen Antonio doing it in an England shirt. Possibly, but I don't think he plays the England way, mate, if I'm honest. Evening, Rich. Hope you're well, sir. His goals at the weekend was a world class. The touch, the pass, the defender, and just drop finish. Yeah, I agree. Shame he's not really younger anymore. I would love to back a backup striker to give him competition. Boyo is an option. And Lee says, all right, James. I agree, and I will get onto Vlasic in a minute. But I look at Antonio and I just see not world class, but a top class. Do you know what I mean? And if that would have been, let's say, Mason Greenwood done that at the weekend against Leeds, everyone would be raving about it. If that was Harry Kane, everyone's raving about it. I just don't see. He will prove people wrong, Antonio, because he's got that sort of mentality that he loves to prove people wrong. And when people say he can't do something, he comes back and does it 10 times better. So yeah, for me, I've got no qualms with Antonio. He's great. He's great, and he's exactly what we need. And a part of that Fantastic Four, mate, he seems to generate a bond with him and Benrahma. And if we can get them two working together, then you've got a player who will assist anyone on the pitch in Benrahma, and Antonio is a player that will score goals, and he will do his absolute best to make sure he goes in the back of the net. Like we've all seen it with Antonio. There's been times where he's put the ball over the bar. How many times he hit the post last season? Now, if he can stop hitting the post and start in the back of the net, which I think he's doing this season, then we've got a dangerous player on our hands. We need to keep him. We need to keep him in the squad. Irons 97 says world class mindset and strength. I agree. I tell you what, with Antonio, and before I sort of go around to other players that I think could break into the Fantastic Four, I do like his mindset, but his attitude. Like he's never moaned. He's just got on with it. And there's been times before when he's been on the bench or had to play in a different position, and every time he's done it, he's just got on with it, and that's what we love about him. Do you know what I mean? And long may that continue. And do you know what? He will retire with West Ham. Right, he'll probably play to about 34, 35. Right, and then he will go on. Right, I don't see him going and playing for someone else. I really don't. So for me, Antonio will see out his career at West Ham, and he's been amazing, mate. To break Di Canio's record in the way he has with us, he's been first class, and I can't fault that at all. Antonio is so underrated and disrespected. It's partly because he plays for West Ham and partly because he doesn't look like a striker. Dude's an absolute beast. I agree. I can't not agree with that. And I look at it like this. The next striker that we sign has to be the right one to sort of go in that Antonio model. And the player that I have watched and who we will see on Sunday is Ivan Toney. I've watched enough of that kid to go, you know what? He's a reboot of Antonio. Like he's built like Antonio, solid. Like I actually think he's a better finisher than Antonio, if I'm honest. And that's me not being disrespectful to Antonio, but I look at Tony and I just think, you know what? He's deadly in front of goal. And that's the model that we need to go after. We need to go and get Ivan Toney out of Brentford. I know it's like a cliche, but it doesn't matter. Like we're an established top 6 club now, or top 7 club. We need to start acting like it, and he would be the player to bring in to replace Antonio when Antonio's time is done. So yeah, I wouldn't. Would I go for someone out of France or anywhere else? Not for me. I don't know, like because I'd rather have someone proven. Do you know what I mean? And go with it like that. To sort of go on to what I was going to suggest, and that is, let's see if I can find him on here. Let's have a look. And it's this man, Mr. Vlasic. Now he's got to start eating the ground running. He really has. I want him to do well at West Ham, and I'm going to make this quite clear to everyone in the chat and everyone who watches this video. I want him to be a success at West Ham United. Like he wears the claret and blue, and I will always support him through and through. But, and there is a but here, I think he's miles behind the pack, as in to say to get anywhere near the front four. Right, really, and I do mean that. It's going to take him time. I understand that, but he has been in England before. He has played before in England, and it's going to take him a bit of time. And if any time, like touch wood, that any of the front four get injured, he has to come in and he has to perform. Like there's no two ways about this. Like I've not seen enough to warrant his price tag at the minute, and it's not me being negative; it's me being real. Like I need to see something, and I've not seen it yet. And the problem is it's not being negative when I say this, but if he don't start performing, people will get on his back, and we need him. That's the be all and end all. We need him because we can't. We all know we can't rely on Yarmolenko. He's good enough for League Cup games, maybe the Europa, but in the Prem, let's be honest here. The front four start, and the first sub on is Vlasic for one of them. Now it's either Benny, Fornell, Bowen. Very rarely is Mikel. So it's either one of the three, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? So we all know that Vlasic will play, and he will get on the pitch at some point in a Premier League game. So we need him to be up to speed and at it straight away. Do you know what I mean? I want him to break in there. Whose place he takes, I'll leave that to you in the chat, right? Because I don't see him getting in front of Benny, in my opinion. Fornells, I think Fornells is the better player, and that's me being brutally honest. Like, do you know what I mean? I think Fornells is a player who gives or brings more. He brings more to the team. And then you've got Jared Bowen, who I actually do think has changed. He looks different this year. He looks faster, sharper, stronger. He looks like he's like quick on the turn. He just needs a goal, and that's all he needs. And I think he'd be away. So Vlasic has got his work cut out to try and get in this team. Like, but there will come a time when he will be called upon. And I hope that he can get up to speed. He just looks a bit slow for me, in my opinion. Like he just looks a bit slow. And if anyone disagrees or agrees, then put it in the chat and I'll read it out before the end of the show. But yeah, I look at Vlasic and I don't see a £30 million player there. Someone's just put it in the comments there. They reckon he's a £10 million player. At present, I can't not disagree with that. Do you know what I mean? So I need to be proved wrong on that front. So yeah, let's get into the chat and have a look and see what everyone says. Mitchley says, "Evening all. I like the striker, Adam Helzik, whatever his name is. He's a good option, young, strong. But it's West Ham, mate. Do we pay the money? And that is the $1 million question. Do we pay the money for these players? Vlasic doesn't have the pace. I thought he would. Seems slow on the counter attack, in my opinion, but I have hope. I completely agree with Jay Woods there. He just doesn't look like he's up to the speed of the Prem. Now that's going to take time, but then when I look at other players like Krell, for instance, how well Krell come in and just hit the ground running. That's a different position, but to me, I think Krell could go there anytime and do a job anytime. I was thoroughly impressed with him. Really, I really was, and I think he's going to be a class player for us. I really do. So we need to get him signed. I see enough against United. I know it's their second string team, but his energy is top class, and he's only going to get better. So yeah, what we got here, as Mitchley said, £10 million player, and do you know what? I can't not disagree with that. I really can't. I look at him, and I'm just not seeing it at the minute. I want to be proved wrong though, so I'm hoping Flashes comes good. I really do mean that. Just need to change his physicality and physicality and fitness. More running for Flashes. The strength and the brains is there. You can see that, but he's just not up to pace just yet. What it is with that, before I sort of carry on, is basically he needs to get up to running of the league, because he could be called upon at any time. Can we really wait 6 months for this geezer to get up to the speed of the league? For me, you can't. Right, in my opinion. So I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Mitchley says Benny will go for 40 million next season. Not for me, mate. He ain't going nowhere, and he certainly is not going for 40 million. That's definitely a fact. One, I don't see him playing in a top 4 team. Benny, even though I like Benny, I've supported Benny from minute one. You don't go and get in Man City's team, Chelsea's team, Man United's team. Who else is there? Liverpool's team. But maybe if a club in Europe did. But then saying that if we're in Europe, why would he want to leave? And Benny's very loyal. He's a very loyal player. He didn't want to leave Brentford in the end, but it was one of them ones that Brentford, right? And he see West Ham as Premier League and Brentford were worse in the Championship. So yeah, Benny ain't going nowhere though. Definitely not. What we got here? We have got Crowell's got the legs though, and we know them like marathon runners. Totally agree. Crowell's class. He's class, I must admit. Scott's in the house. Big up the fat man. Nice one. It's too early to judge Flassage. He's only made a handful of appearances. I agree he needs to be ready at any time, though. It is too early to judge him, Lee. It really is. And I understand that. But as you've just said there, he could be called at any time to play. If we're playing against Brentford and touch wood, one of the players get injured or have to come off because they've pulled a muscle or something, he's got to come on the pitch and he's got to perform straight away. We can't, every time he's been on the pitch, I haven't seen anything to go, whoa, this is a player. Do you know what I mean? I just haven't. And I understand he needs time, but then how much time does he need before questions need to be asked? He's played now, he's a sub appearance against Southampton. He played in Zagreb. He played against Man United. He came on as a sub against Manchester United in the League Cup game. And he came on as a sub against Leeds. So he's getting subbed appearances. Obviously, the Leeds game I can't judge, but I watched him against the League Cup game. I didn't see anything there. The Manchester United game, I thought he was very, very poor. The Zagreb game, I thought he was good. And the Southampton game, I see spells, but that was it. So obviously, it's a mixed bag at the minute with him. But as I say, you've got to give the man time. James, what kind of team do you expect to see Thursday against Rapid? It's going to be like the League Cup team, I reckon. Brett Lanzini could come in. Crowell definitely plays. Ben Johnson will play. I want to see Areola. I do. I really do. I can't stress that enough. Like, I don't understand this fab for Europe, fab for Premier League, and I want to see Areola, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? Listen, we all know Areola's the better goalkeeper than Fab, but Fab don't deserve to be dropped in the Prem. Simple as that. Do you know what I mean? So I want to see him. Who else do I want to see in there? Vlasic is another one. I want to see. I want to see Vlasic in the team. I believe that he needs to. He needs a goal. I would love him to score a couple of goals on Thursday, right? And then he would might have arrived. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'd love that. Who else would it? Will Noble play? I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know. It could be a mixed bag team. Well, it wouldn't surprise me if it was Crow and Souček. I don't think Bowen plays though. I will say that because Bowen would have played 3 90-minute games in sort of 8 days if he plays from the start, and you can't keep doing that. Do you know what I mean? He's going to need to have a rest. So yeah, obviously Fornals went off at the weekend. Hopefully that ain't too bad. But yeah, I don't know. I sense a mixed team. I really do. I think what surprised me even if Yarmolenko starts. I thought listen. I'm a big enough man to admit it, but Yarmolenko in the League Cup game was very good. I thought he was good. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, some people have just got like this agenda against him, which I understand it totally. I get it. I understand that he hasn't performed for West Ham for nearly 2 years, really. But you got to give him credit when he does. So yeah, for me, Yarm done well, and I think he deserves to play. I really do. I would give Antonio a rest on Thursday. Like because I think Brentford's the bigger game, and then we got a national break. So yeah, he gave away his bonus to all the people who helped him at Brentford. That's humble and loyal. That's Benrahma, mate. I've got a lot of time for Benny. He's an humble kid. What we got here? For me, the worth of our front four: Bowen 30 million, Benrahma 35 to 40 million, Fornals 35 to 40 million, Antonio 50 million. The free will always increase the value. The premium will. Do I think Antonio's worth 50 million? No. I'm going to say that straight away. I think Antonio's worth about 35. He's 31, maybe 40 at best. Fornals, I'm going to say I agree with that, 35 to 40. Benny, I think he's worth more than between 35 and 40. I think he can go up to 50 quite easily. And Bowen, I think, is worth more than 30. I'd say about 35 to 40. So you're not far off, Scott. But yeah, Fornals, I think, and Benny maybe a little bit more. What we got here? Let's have a look. We have got here. I think Vlasic will shine most this season in Europe as he's used to that kind of game and a bit slower pace. I agree. I really do. Needs a goal. One thing I will say on that, Irons 97, he needs a goal. He needs a goal. Well, I want him just to score, or I want him just. I want to see something. That's what I'm going to say. Like, I'm not knocking the kid, like he's only just arrived, but I need to see something. I really do, like because he's got a big price tag on him, and I know the price tag ain't his fault. I understand that. I get it. Totally understand that. Like people say, well, it ain't his fault. He's got a price tag like that, James. But you still got to warrant a price tag of any kind. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's 30 million or 10 million. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he needs a goal, and I really want him to score. Do you know what I mean? And like get a good 90 minutes on Thursday against Rapid. Do you know what I mean? It'd be an ideal game for him. And like, I just hope he can sort of get up to the pace of it. The only problem is with that, before I move on, is with Vlasic, where you're playing Europe and you're playing Premier League, it's two different leagues. Like you're playing in Europe a bit more slower, like etc. When you come to sort of the Premier League, you know how fast the Premier League is. It's rapid. It's like backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. It's just non-stop. So yeah, I want to see a goal. I really do. I want to see this kid come good for us, and I want him to be part of the Fantastic Five, not the Fantastic Four. So yeah, Bowen needs a goal. He's still not scored the goal at the weekend. He went down as an OG. I saw, mate. I really did. I was a bit gutted about that. But you know what? He's going to take confidence from that. He will. He's gonna like think, you know what, next time, excuse me, it will go in. But I've got no question about Bowen. All right, I think Bowen looks better this year. Like he looks more livelier, as I say. But yeah, um, I've got no question about Bowen. What else we got here? Let's have a look. Antonio's 31. You can get 10 million if if you're lucky. No, I think he's worth more than 10 million. I've got to say that. Like a £10 million player doesn't do the goals that Antonio scores. It's simple as that. Like I know he's 31, but there's a lot of strikers out there who are in their 30s who seem to score goals. So, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think he's worth more than 10 million, 100%. Lee, James, are you worried about Bowen's lack of goals? I think he's been excellent, but I'd like to see him find the back of the net. If Antonio goes down, God forbid, he's our striker. Good question, Lee. Great question. Am I worried? No, is the simple answer to that, because I feel that boy will score. And as I say it, it's not a case of if, it's a case of when. Um, it is a concern, don't get me wrong, when you've got a player who's not scoring no goals, and he will be our backup striker. But I don't know, I just think the goals are coming from everywhere else. Do you know what I mean? Obviously Antonio is the leading scorer at the minute at the club. And when Antonio wasn't there the other week, we did play well against United in spells. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously Man United were pretty decent, but we've done well in spells. Is it a concern with a goal? He needs a goal, Bowen. And I think obviously he's got Brentford the weekend. I'll be shocked if he plays Thursday night. I really will. But once he gets a goal, he done it last season. He had a bit of a shaky start. Then he went bang, 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 goal, 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 goal. Then he had a spell where he went quiet for about 12 games where he done nothing. I think he weren't well either in that time. Then he sort of kicked into gear towards the back end of the season. The sooner he scores a goal, the better, for me. And the sooner he does that, the sooner we will be happy as fans if Antonio goes down, then we know Bowen's there. But it is a concern, obviously, where we are going to be relying on a player to score goals for us. So yeah. Let's go here. What we got here? Let's go back to this one. Scott, I agree, James. I think these figures will only increase Benrahma. For example, he'll be worth 60 million 18 months. I think Benrahma's class, mate. Scott, me and you, and I'll say this to the chat right now. Me and Scott was in the Benrahma camp from minute one, literally minute one. And we spoke, me and Scott, last year when I was doing the YouTube game, and I couldn't work out the criticism. I really couldn't. And I've seen criticism on players, and it was like unreal from what I was hearing. And Scott can back me up in the chat. I know Benrahma's a talent, mate. He's talent. He's like a Mahrez type player, and that's what we need at West Ham. So yeah, I've got no problem with Benrahma, mate. He's 100% class. Do you know what I mean? Bowen's not scoring hasn't affected him. He's so bright, taking on defenders between the lines, being a real pain for them. Looking good. It's the end product he needs to work on, in my opinion. I agree on that, Irons 97. I do. I think, but I've got no qualms with him, mate. I really haven't. I look at him and I think, you know what, he'll score. He will score. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what? As I said on a different platform. I was on a different platform, and I said to someone, I said, I don't care if he don't score no goals and he assists, say, 15 goals in the season, then I couldn't care less. Do you know what I mean? Because like he's that good, Bowen. He brings more than that. Do you know what I mean? But then you can't have it all. Like some people was moaning last year that Benrahma wasn't scoring and Bowen was. So you can't have it always. Obviously, let's all hope that all four of them start scoring. Bowen, Benrahma, Fornells, and Antonio. Then we're winning the league, then, gentlemen. Do you know what I'm saying? Shiny G, evening, James. I hope you're well, sir. Flassage overpriced. I'd say, yeah, for now. Until I see something, then yeah, £30 million. We could have went out and bought Usman, Edouard from Celtic, and maybe someone else. Do you know what I mean? But time will tell. Time will tell. He needs a goal, this kid. right? And I need to see him like looking a bit more sharper, but it's going to come. It will come. We've got here. We've got Bowen. Bowen's only 24. He just needs to work on his end product and it'll start falling into place. He will only get better. Totally agree. Totally agree. I think he's a class act, Bowen. Um, I was on his back a little bit last season. I won't lie, and I'll be straight and up front. Um, I was on his back last season because he weren't because I know he's a talented kid. But I must admit, this season I've seen enough of him in the Leicester game, even the Man United game. I thought he was decent, right? And I thought to change from a striker to a winger when Yarmolenko come on was like he can just do multiple roles. Do you know what I mean? But I just think he just needs a goal, and I can't stress that enough. And then when he scores, then it'll all fall into place. 100% agree. I bet Benny to score every week this season. He's been dynamite when he gets going. Um, yeah, but to sort of round it up, so I round it up with this. Benny's been good. Benny's been good, but he needs to sort of how can I put it? He's people are saying that he's been amazing, but I don't know why, but I know there's more to come. Like this kid is top class. I do like him as a number 10. I won't lie. People had him on the left hand side last season, cutting in and out. And for me, he's not a number 10. He's not a left hand side player for me. He's number 10. Give him the ball outside the box. All right. People moan when he has a shot, but for me, when he has a shot, that means there's something good. Right? Do you know what I mean? If he's having a shot and he's on target, if the keeper spills it or anything, Antonio Fornals or Bowen's there to pick it up. So yeah, I've got every faith in Benny. I really have. And it ain't me being Benny biased or anything like that. It's me just being real. Like I look at him, I just see a top quality player there who will come good. Like a lot of people was on his back last year, as I say, but obviously everyone's loving him now, and so they should because he's a class act, and we in a few years' time he will be as good as Payet, if not better than him. And mark my words on that. I really do mean that because he don't score free kicks from like 30 yards out and he ain't bending balls into the top corner. Look at what he does. Like, look at how well he works with Antonio. That's a great statistic to have a look at there. Him and Antonio together, their statistics like assists each other is amazing. So yeah, I've got every faith in Benny. I really do. And I I I've got no worries about him becoming like a West Ham great, really, because I think he can be. Um, Scott says, yeah, he's a genius. He's on the same level as Payet, Di Canio, and Joe Cole. Um, he's got the movement of like an Eden Hazard. He's balanced. I do like that. Obviously, Hazard was like phenomenal at dribbling, but I do the way Benny sort of turns and runs at people when he sort of step over a move. He's good. He's good. So that has been my episode of the Fantastic Four ish. I want to thank everyone who's been watching. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate you taking your time out to watch me ramble on about West Ham. But we've got a Fantastic Four up front for us at the minute, and it's the best I've seen for a hell of a long time. I will be back soon. This week, I'll be doing a preview of the game against Rapid. I'll probably do a few from the pub, so check that out. And I'm going to try and get my Brentford mate on. We're going to talk Brentford, West Ham, Ivan Toney, Rico Henry this week at some point. To sort of end it on this, I'm so proud of the boys. Like, I really am. The weekend, I watched that game back and I watched the highlights, the extended highlights. And I must admit, I was so pleased how well they sort of marshalled themselves from a losing position to get back to win the game. I really do. And mate, I've watched West Ham for all my life, and I have been to games where I've seen us get absolutely obliterated by teams. I've seen us lose against Wigan, Oxford, to name a few. You know what I mean? Wimbledon. But I don't know why, but I've got a feeling this year, and I've never had a feeling this year ever, that we could do something special. And I really do mean that, whether that's in Europe or it's in one of the cups. I don't know why, but I just don't fear no one in this league. right? I really don't. And we've lost one game this season against a team who, let's be honest, if Moyes would have just kept the penny taker as it was, Declan Rice blasts that through De Gea. That's 2-2. We're still unbeaten. But we move on. And we have got a busy week this week, and then we've got an international break. So I will be back with more content for you. If you like what I do and you're new around here, subscribe. It goes a long way. It helps me out. I just want to get my figures up. Really do. I want to thank everyone who has subscribed and shown me love. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It go a long way. And yeah, I'll be back again soon. I want to thank everyone in the chat also to making the show what it was tonight. I really do. I really do appreciate it. And that's goodbye from me. Take care and bye for